live. Oh, jeez. I'm live. Yay. Okay, so hello there. I know I do a lot of scriptures and Bible teachings. I want to try something else today, something different. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I can't. I mean, I can, but you don't have to listen, right? But I want to share something interesting with you. I think that's too broad, is it? There's like a gloomy thing. Ooh. Let's see. Anyway, that's too bright. Say something and I'll do something. Anyway, I want to try something different. Something that, and I'm not trying to be a health expert. I'm not trying to, I'm living with this native family and I'm seeing how they're eating what's being put in you. And remember, there's a saying, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put inside of you is going to reflect outside of you. Yeah. So watch this. How many of you like Coke products? Okay, I'm just going to use this one for now. Okay. Now, they didn't make this for you. They made it for the almighty dollar. That's why they made it. Okay. It probably only takes about 5 cents to make this and they sell it to you for more. So they're making a killing. Okay. Now, this is the thing about it. Okay. Let me read. Here, hold on real quick. I'm going to read the ingredients for you. You can look this up yourself if you want. But I'm going to read this to you. I know we open it. It's refreshing, it says, but it's when we're thirsty. So anything's going to satisfy if we're thirsty. Watch this. What it says here, what it contains. Watch this. If they have it on here, they probably don't even anymore. Oh, yeah. Carbonated water, high fructose, corn syrup, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavors, caffeine. Okay. Then you read the side of it, and it says here, total fat, 0. Now, notice how they put fat first, because people think of fat, right? You don't want to eat it. You don't want to eat it because, there's no fat in here. Well, that's cool. 0% fat. Sodium, 2%. Total carbohydrates, 14%. Total sugars, 39 grams. Watch. Total sugars, 49 grams. Including 39 grams of added sugars. Then it says 78%. 78%. What that means is, here's 50, the half of the can. Here's 75, a third of the can. 78%. Think about that. Now, we don't look at it that way because all you see is Coca-Cola. Refreshing. Oh, the carbonated water. Oh, when you put ice in it. Oh, when you mix it with Jack. That kind of stuff. Okay? Diabetes is rampant. And they're giving their babies this. They're giving their little tiny babies this junk. And they're buying it every darn day as much as they can. Now, I'm going to show you something. You can look it up for yourself. I'm going to show you how much sugar is in a can of Coke. Okay? Watch this. You're going to love this. All right? So I got a bag of sugar here. Sugar, which is really bad for you. This processed sugar is the worst for you or anyone for that matter. All right. So let's look. 1, 2. That would be good enough, right? I usually put that in my coffee. 3. Whoa. 4. Ooh, that's a lot. 5. Oh, man. 6. Wow. 7. Whoa. 8. Well, let's even it out. Let's make it nice. 9. You think that would be good enough? Now add water to that. A cup. 8 ounces of cup, so a cup and a half. So let's see, a cup and a half. 1.5 cups right there. Add that much water in there with that and see if you'll drink it. You won't drink it. Watch this. It's 9.75. So let's drop a little bit more out. Drop that in there. That's how much sugar is inside one of these. So one of these is in one of these. Whoa! And you wonder where diabetes comes from. Watch this. Watch this. Whoa, look at that. Ah, that's how much sugar's in there. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you wouldn't eat that. I know you wouldn't eat that. You wouldn't even mess with that. You wouldn't take it. But that's what you're doing. You're taking this much down every time you drink one of these. Now, I'm not saying what to drink, what not to drink. I remember when someone told me you shouldn't drink so much soda. This was years ago. And I'm not going to lie to you. My wife and I would drink at least 2 cases a week. And then we started thinking about it because I didn't want nobody telling me nothing. That was my first thought. You don't tell me nothing. But then we reduced it. And before you know it, we didn't like it anymore. Like I had one yesterday and I drank it all day. I drank it all day. And it does have a chemical taste to it. And I ain't going to lie, it's good. I ain't going to lie, it's tasty. I ain't going to lie. I drank this, my parents used to buy us 7-Up thinking it was okay. Let me show you something else. Watch this. Just reading the can. High fructose corn syrup. Caramel color. Caramel color. Let's see what caramel color is. I'm going to show you what caramel color. Watch this. It says food, but it's not. Caramel color. What is it? Watch. According to FDA, the dark brown liquid or solid material result, what is caramel color made from? There are 2 categories of raw material to the manufacturing. Okay, caramel coloring, also known as caramel coloring, is one of the oldest and most used colorings in food and beverage with the European food additive number E150. Its color ranges from pale yellow to amber to dark brown and can create several colors when added in foods. Generally, it is gluten-free and vegan. In this article, I'm going to do, okay, watch this. According to FDA, it is the dark brown liquid or solid material resulting from the carefully controlled heat treatment of the food-grade carbohydrates. There are 2 categories of raw materials in the manufacturing of this color: carbohydrates and reactants. Food-grade nutritive sweeteners, which are the monogamers glucose and fructose, and are polymers thereof, e.g., glucose syrup, sucrose, and or inverse syrups, and dextrose are the sources of carbohydrates. The approved reactants such as acid alkali salts, ammonium sulfate, which are used to promote caramelization. 4 types of this color are all produced from carefully controlled heat treatment of food-grade carbohydrates with good-grade reactants or not. The process is also called caramelization. Now watch, I'm going to show you something. We don't go further than that because we think, well, that's not too bad. Watch this. I'm going to write this down. Can caramel coloring cause cancer? According to Consumer Reports, the culprit is a caramel coloring, the most utilized food coloring in the world, which contains the chemical 4-methylamidazole, or 4-mel, a potentially cancer-causing chemical. The chemical process during the manufacture of the caramel coloring used in soft drinks, such as cola, produces a carcinogen that could be raising the risk of cancer to above the accepted threshold of 1 extra case in every 100,000 people. Read that again. So you can do this yourself. You can do this yourself. I asked the question, can caramel coloring cause cancer? And that's what's in Coke. Caramel color. Yeah, caramel. Because you think of caramel, you think of that nice candy, right? That nice candy that, the little caramels, the square ones that are real chewy. You put on the caramel apple, right? I say caramel, it's caramel. Now watch this. I asked that question. Can caramel coloring cause cancer? Well, that's a lot of C's. Can caramel coloring cause cancer? Look what it says here. A big resounding yes. Oh, okay. So this right here, whether it be Pepsi, whether it be any kind of cola, okay, any kind of cola, doesn't matter what it is. It has caramel color. Well, wait a minute. We just went back and read. Remember that I little did for you? Let me do it again so you get an emphasized idea of what it is. Remember. So let's do it again. how much sugar is in one can of Coke? One, let's say that's a 75 because it's 9.75, 9 3/4. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9. Now, would you let your kid, that cereal you serve them in the morning, as they call it, cold cereal, dry cereal, whatever you want to call it? Would you let your child, or yourself for that matter, put this much sugar on their cereal? No, you wouldn't. Would you let your deli donut or your donut with sugar on it? You remember those sugar donuts, the glazed ones? Would you put them? No, you wouldn't. Look at that. Crazy. But yet, this is in this. Wow. Just think about it. I'm not saying don't drink Coke products no more. But maybe if you reduce it or drink it over a, let's see, 3-day period, that will give you 3 teaspoons. And really, you're supposed to only have 2 from what I gather. But this stuff is junk. Really, it's junk. Okay. So there you go. So far you got that. Then you got caramel coloring, which causes cancer. They don't care. You're paying for it. So that's another thing I want to share. I'm going to share this to Resurrection, because a lot of my natives, I see what they're eating and stuff. Okay, let me get rid of this now. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you some other stuff that people eat. Now, I'm guilty of this too. I'm not home anymore, but I was reducing the heck out of this. And from the way my wife cooks, she was right in what she said. And again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to tell you what not to do. You're a full-grown person, but I'm going to share information. I'm just going to share it. It's up to you. I do that because I don't scratch my head. It itches. I hit it. Anyway, here's another thing that's scary. And it's not just this. I'm not trying to go against the name. I'm not trying to say it's a bad product. Okay, I could care less about the product or the name on it, but I'm going to show you something about this stuff. We think, oh, it's quick, it's tasty, it's all that. Let me go in here and read what it has. Let me read the ingredients. Let's see what it says here. Oh boy. Oh yeah, ingredients. I like the way they put the ingredients. Look how they do it now. Water. Enriched wheat flour. Enriched. You know what enriched means? I got to tell it to you. I'll show it to you. Let me look it up. Watch this. I'm going to look it up myself. I know it's not good. What does enriched mean when it is in a food, when it is a food ingredient, ingredient. Boom. Enriched food, the word enriched means nutrients have been added to replace the ones that have disappeared during the manufacturing process. For example, whole wheat is rich in B complex, vitamins, and iron that live in the outer parts of the grain, which is called the hull. So whole wheat, not enriched. Now I'm going to show you something, because enriched, you think, whoa, okay. It reminds me of people that get high on meth. They like to get high on meth, never have. So, and I've heard this many times, not just from one particular person, but a lot of people. So they don't want no one to appear high to anyone, so they smoke weed to be normal. So they get high on meth, but they smoke weed to get normal. How about just be normal? That's the quick way to it. Okay. Fortified versus enriched. Both terms mean that nutrients have been added to make the food more nutritious. Enriched means nutrients that were lost during food processing. Now watch. What do enriched foods cause health problems? Ah, oh wow. Let's see here. Why you shouldn't eat enriched or fortified foods? Let's see what that says. Now this might be a because a lot of times when you look up stuff, people will add more to it so that you can order products from them. This one is called Deliciously Organic. So they might be trying to sell organic foods. Let's see what their argument says. We find enriched foods all over the place these days. In fact, since 1998, folic acid has been added to most bread flours, cornmeal, pasta, rice, and other grain products in the US and Canada. Enriched sounds healthy, right? Unfortunately, these foods get enriched with synthetic vitamins and or minerals our bodies often can't use properly. These synthetic nutrients can actually cause health issues. For example, many people have the MTHFR mutation today. When someone with the MTHFR mutation consumes folic acid, the body can't process it. The synthetic folic acid builds up in the system and the excess ends up stored as a toxin in organs and fat tissue. Milk is also commonly fortified or enriched. Most milk sold in stores contains synthetic vitamin A and D added after pasteurization and homogenization. Now remember, pasteurization, homogenization isn't for your benefit. It's for the one selling it to make it last longer so that you have a chance to buy it. See? Now keep in mind, and I'll share this with you, that the Dairy Farmers of America is a big group. So they pushed lobbyists to lobby Congress and the Senate to say that milk is good for you. I got to share this with you. Now, this is going to sound kind of crazy. I know I'm going through all this stuff. I'm just sharing with you. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. Okay, so I'm going to do this and then I'm going to get back to enriched. Long time ago, my dad was working for this guy named Joe Kosak. And Joe Kosak was a guy who owned a bunch of houses and rented them out. My dad used to work for him. We rented one of his houses. And my dad used to work for him. He died now. He'd been dead for quite a while. My dad too. But anyway, Joe asked him, he said, hey, and I remember this as a kid. My dad thought it was a joke because they feed us milk all the time because, you know, the milk is good for you, calcium, all this stuff. And my dad's friend, my dad's boss friend, asked him, he said, do you drink milk, John? And John, my dad said, yeah. He said, what are you, a calf? And that hit me like, wait a minute, that's true. The milk in the cow is meant for the baby. Interesting. Watch this now. Years later, I met this lady. She was a nice lady, good friend, somewhat good friend, really nice lady. Okay, really nice lady. And she said, "Do you know why there's so many commercials on milk that is good for you, good for calcium, good for your bones, good for everything else? Because the dairy farmers are, in fact, a powerful voting machine. So they lobby Congress and Senate to say milk is important. That's why they put it in the four food groups, cheese and all that. I'm not saying don't drink milk. I'm not saying don't eat cheese. So they lobby them so that they can say, oh, yeah, milk is good for you. You know, milk this. And you don't see too many milk commercials anymore. And what happens? Well, they get their product out there. You buy it. They become richer. More rich, excuse me. Enriched, if you know. Anyway. I should have looked at that word before. I read it up on the food thing. But anyway, let me get back to this. But really, you can get calcium from vegetables, from other things besides milk. And what she was sharing me was by the time it breaks down, there's not enough milk in there or calcium in there for you anyway. because the homogenization process, the pasteurized process destroys it. Anyway, just like eating a fresh fruit or eating a cooked one. Eat it fresh, you get all the nutrients. By the time it's cooked, it cooks out some of it. Okay, like alcohol. My wife made a pot roast with wine in it, and the kids were worried. Oh, we're gonna get drunk? No, it burns out the alcohol, and it was really good. Anyway, okay, so going back to enriched. So you see, a lot of times these things. And let's look somewhere else. Let's look, and you can do this yourself. I'm just pointing out some stuff because I'm watching these guys do this. And when I see them do this, let's see, UNICEF, our fortified and enriched foods healthy. This is UNICEF. They're basically a global thing. So let's see what they say. In general, fortifying enriched foods are helpful, but one should be cautious about nutrient overdoses with particular vitamins and minerals. It is also crucial to understand that fortifying foods cannot cover poor nutrition. Do you hear that? Let me read it again. In general, fortifying and enriching foods are helpful, but one should be cautious about nutrient overdoses with particular vitamins and minerals. It is also crucial to understand that fortifying foods cannot cover poor nutrition. Okay, going back to this. Okay, I'm going to read it again. Enriched wheat flour. Enriched with niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, normal nitrate, riboflavin, folic acid. Beef. That's all it says. Look. Beef. What kind of beef? Was it a sick cow? Was it a meringue? You know what I mean? Beans. Vegetable oil, soybean, canola, and or corn oil. Contains 2% or less. Textured vegetables, protein, soy flour, caramel color. Caramel color. Isn't that funny? The Coke can I showed you, caramel color. I just read it to you. It can cause cancer. It's in here too. Isolated pea product. Isolated pea product. What is that? Salt, chili pepper, spices, soy sauce, water, soybeans, wheat, salt, flavor, dough, conditioned yeast, wheat gluten, sugar, guar gum. So it's got caramel color and sugar. Guar gum, modified food starch, partially fried in vegetable oil, contains wheat and soy. That's what's in here. Hello. That's what's in here. I mean, my God, we just sit there and take this stuff off the shelf, not even caring what we're putting in. Think about it. Oh, anyway, let me get back to this. Okay. I see the people that I'm around, and they're good people. They're nice people. They let me stay in their home. And I look, and they're mostly sleeping all day. And I thought, wait a minute, what is this? They're sluggish. I'm going to tell you something. You cannot think clearly. See? You cannot think clearly. Think about it. Rich people, what do they have? They have a chef. Think about it. They have a chef that cooks all their meals for them. And I guarantee you, you will not find this crap in a rich person's home. Again, if you like it, good for you. I ain't talking about the product. I'm not trying to put down the brand name. But I just read to you a few ingredients in there. Okay? Wow. Isn't that crazy? Let me go back and see how much time we're on. Okay. I'm just going to randomly grab something else. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a second here. Remember, I'm not putting down the product, the name brand. Here we go. Again, not putting down the name brand, not putting that down. Okay, but you know what this is. Okay, I'm not putting down name brands. I'm not trying to say they're bad or good. I'm not trying to. Free girls in your city. Free girls in my. Oh my God, I got to get rid of these people trying to chat. Anyway, it's a free public thing, I guess. I'm not going to call them, so there we go. Okay. We'll call it Doe. Doe! Like Homer Simpson. Okay. I'm going to read the ingredients to you. We never do this. You might want to start doing that. If you want, I can start looking up recipes that involve cooking. And if you don't know how to cook, I can share with you how to cook on this channel if you want. It's up to you. I'm not trying to get popular. I just felt compelled to do this. It's like I said, I see what's going on around me. I see the little kids gaining weight. I see the little kids irritable. And it's like, dude, you give this kid a bunch of crap and you expect them to act normal. What is normal? Well, abnormal is not normal. I'll tell you that. I know what's normal and it's not abnormal. Okay, watch this. Then they tag them with ADHD and all this junk, and it's like, nah, man, this crap you're giving them makes them irritable. But of course, the doctors want to say ADHD. Why? Because the prescription pills are connected to it, which every prescription a doctor writes, he gets a cut from that pharmacy. Watch this. Corn, well, that's interesting. Vegetable oil, that's interesting. Corn, canola, and or sunflower oil. Now watch. What is that about? Watch this. Let me read it again. Corn, canola, and or sunflower oil. Why don't you tell me what it is? You're putting it in there. I'm putting it in my body. I'm not eating this junk, by the way, anymore. Okay. Salt, cornstarch, tomato powder, lactose, whey, skim milk, onion powder, sugar, garlic powder, monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate. Let's look that up real quick here. Let's look up what monosodium glutamate. Actually, I'm going to go straight to the source, and I'm going to ask I'm going to ask this question. Can monosodium okay, there it is right there. Let's see if it can cause cancer. Monosodium glutamate does cause controversy, but there is no conclusive evidence linking the consumption of to a cause of cancer or to an increased risk of cancer. Now notice, it didn't say no. There is no conclusive. What that means is that it goes that way. Okay, it's like this. Here's a path to cancer. Well, we can't see the end of the road, so therefore it's not concluded. It could, but because we don't see no, come on, folks, look how silly we are. And they word this for that. Watch this. The Food and Drug Administration considers it safe to add MSG to food. What is monosodium glutamate? It's a sodium salt of the amino acid, glutamic acid. Now watch. I'm going to look at another one. Monosodium glutamate and cancer. Is there a cancer? Okay. Oh, that must be their buddies, because I know they'll actually have people write about them. Let's see what it says. I believe in California they don't allow it. I think. I don't know. Let me see here. Still a mystery. Under normal circumstances, your cells divide in a controlled manner with new cells replacing old ones. Cancer cells, however, possess the ability to escape normal cell death and continue growing in a controlled manner. The extra cells go on to form a mass or tumor. Cancer cells can invade other organs and tissues also. More than 100 types of cancer exist. The exact cause of cancer remains unknown. Scientists have identified various risk factors that may increase the chances of cancer development, such as smoking, genetic vulnerabilities and abnormalities, and exposure to certain toxins such as pesticides. MSG is sodium amino acid, glutamic acid, found naturally in some foods and added to others. As an additive, MSG enhances the flavor of savory foods. It's produced from a fermentation process of starch, sugar beet, sugar cane, or molasses, and added to either savory foods. Some individuals have reported sensitivity to MSG with symptoms such as headache, chest pain, and heart palpitation. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration asserts that MSG consumed at the typical levels is safe. However, Dr. Russell Baylock, a researcher, retired neurosurgeon, and author of Excitotoxins, The Taste That Kills, asserts that excess consumption of glutamate promotes cancer growth. Let me read that again. Dr. Russell Blaylock, a researcher, retired neurosurgeon, and author of Excitotoxins That Taste That Kills, asserts that excess consumption of glutamate promotes cancer growth, and he emphasizes the need for well-researched studies into this area. Although the safety of MSG has been subject of debate over the years, the link between MSG and cancer is based on anecdotal evidence, which does not provide scientific proof, according to American Institute for Cancer Research. Okay, now what? I'm going to do this. And it's so interesting how this can be done. Does California, L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A, does California allow the sale of monosodium GLUT? I think what you call it doesn't. I'll check that out. No sodium. Jeez. Glutamate. Glutamate. Glutamate in foods. Watch this. Let's see if it does. Oh my God. I guess California allows it. Let's see. Let's see Europe. Watch. Does Europe? EUROPE. Okay. Oh, wow. Muslim glutamate is banned. Let me read that. Oh, my God. Watkins. The Muslim glutamate is sodium salt. This product was used for, yeah. Damn. Okay, so I guess it's banned. Wow. Okay. So there's some that ban it. What I'm saying is, you really don't need it. It enhances the savoriness of food. Okay, watch this now. Oh, let me go back to here. Maltodextrin, cheddar cheese, milk, cheese, or culture, salt, enzymes, dextrose, that's salt, sugar as well. So it's got sugar and dextrose. Watch this. Malic acid, corn syrup, salt is buttermilk, natural and artificial flavors. Sodium acetate, artificial color, red 40, blue number 1, and yellow 5. Let's see what red does. Red number 40. Let's see what that does. So far we read one. Well, sugar is not good for you, we found out. Too much anyway. It also has corn syrups, dextrose. So that's 3 different types of sugars right there. Just bear with me. And red 40. Let's see what red 40 does. Okay, and that's found in that Takis and all that stuff. What's this? I'm going to stop here in a minute. Don't worry. Does red 40 cause cancer? Let's see. Yes. Big resounding yes. According to CSPR, Red 40 is the FDA-approved version of Allura Red. Allura Red was first produced by Allied Chemical Corps. Allied Chemical Corps. The CPI alleges that Red 40 contains a contaminant that may cause cancer. So far, you've got 2 things in there. Oh, let me look at this one. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. Watch this. Does processed sugar cause cancer? Let's see. No. Okay, good. So let's see here. Does what's it called? Granulated, GRANULATED, sugar cause cancer? Let's see. Oh, look at that there. So it's not a carcinogenic. However, overconsumption of sugar, particularly added sugars in processed beverages and foods, notice that sugar is not a carcinogenic, cancer causing substance. However, overconsumption of sugar, particularly added sugars in processed beverages and foods, can contribute to obesity, which is an important risk factor for cancer. There is no evidence that consuming sugar makes cancer cells grow faster or cause cancer. But it says there that obesity, like I showed you, the 9 3/4 teaspoons of sugar is in 1 can of cola, soda. Think about that. Okay. Okay, so I read to you. Did I put that back on there? Oh no, I did. But I have this now. So yes, red 40 causes cancer. And it's got blue number 1 and yellow number 5. Spice citric acid, disodium isocyanate, and disodium guanylate. Well, I already looked up 3, and that's enough for me. 3 strikes, you're out, right? Again, I'm not looking at the name for it. I'm just saying, try that sometime, folks. Please. For your health, for your well-being, for your mind. Start looking at ingredients and see what you got a phone in your hand. You can look up the definition of those things. You know, it's funny because when I read the back of a shampoo bottle and I read the back of one of these bags, they almost sound the same with the ingredients they have. Okay? That's just a little bit. I just looked at 3 products. I looked at frozen burritos, I looked at Doritos, and I looked at the can of soda. Hello. Caramel color, caramel color, caramel color. Each one of those. Sugar, sugar, dextro. Come on, folks. One of the definitions of one of those words alone should cause you to say, wait a minute, I'm putting that inside of my body. And that's what causes our laziness. That's what causes. And you know what? How do you control people? Think about it. Look at the commodities they provided Indians. High in sugar, high in sodium, high in fat. Diabetes is rampant. And why? Because every little kid I see has a can of pop in their hands, has a candy bar in their hands. I remember years ago when I never gave my kids candy here on this reservation, and they said I was abusing them. Why don't you let your have kids candy? Oh, because I'm their parent. I'm looking out for their health and their best interest. Here's my little cousin. Well, she was pretty big. Overweight. You can tell when somebody, and I know they're trying to make overweight glamorous. I don't think so. I don't think so. She's got Slim Jims in this pocket, potato chips in this pocket, like 6 pockets on her shorts, 2 cans of sodas over here, chips over here, candies over here. And I looked and I thought, no wonder she's overweight. No wonder diabetes is such. And then this one lady tried to get mad at me. Well, you can't really say that. I said, well, let me say this. Do you think it's contributing to it? She couldn't argue me. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to put this in resurrection. And it's up to you to follow it or not. You can, you don't have to. But please take the time. And I'm not saying start eating vegetables. I'm not saying put a cape on and all that junk. But if you took a break from that stuff, you will see how much more clear your mind gets. You will see how much healthier you feel. You will see the pounds go off. I was at 340 at one time. Now I'm at, no, 340. I apologize. Not 340. I was at 240. Now I'm at 210, I believe. Anyway, just want to share with my native people this, and whoever else is listening, something. I'm going to get on here again, and next time I'm going to share about children around us and what we say and do that affects them. Okay? Just to give you an example, there's a little child here who was put here because nobody else wanted him, and he's 5. He's kind of abrupt. And they're yelling at him, behave, be quiet. You're going to go take a nap all day tonight. And I finally talked to the ladies. I said, look, for a while there, he was in a setting. He's ripped from that setting because his dad OD'd. He's in jail now. They brought him back to life. and they took that young man and put him in a city he doesn't know, how do you think he's going to act? For one, he's uncomfortable. We think, well, they're kids, they better listen. No. It's like the disciples when, and I'll bring Bible into this, when they brought the kids to Jesus, they tried to put those kids away. And what did Jesus say? Suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. So many scriptures involved in that. Anyway, so I'll go over that next time, okay? And I'll go over some other stuff if you'd like. Like I said, I can start a cooking thing here if you want to teach you how to cook healthy. Anyway, God bless. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.